Hey, Spiritual Girls in a Material World with Kelly Sullivan Walden and Nancy T starts now.
Hello, everybody. Here we are. We are Spiritual Girls in a Material World. I'm Nancy T, and with me is Kelly Sullivan Walden. And we are the girls that love to celebrate the bling, the ka-ching, and the mystical and everything. So the spiritual girl in the material world wants to talk about feeling like we are enough or the lack of feeling that. And lately I've been suffering from that because I pretty much realized I do feel like I am enough most of the darn time. So whatever that means. But when you don't, it sure is a smack in the face. All of a sudden you notice. What goes on with you for that, Cal?
Well, I think that there's a relationship between this and FOMO. Remember we talked about FOMO, NOMO a while back?
For sure.
So, for sure. Okay, so clearly, I think I have suffered from the disease to please as well as the illusion of not enough. And how that shows up for me is there's like, it's like it's my grandma used to say, Kelly, you've got eyes bigger than your stomach. It's like, I think I can do so many things that I'm not able to do. So it's like a tendency to set myself up to fail or to let other people down because I see things as done. I'm a visionary. It's kind of maybe the shadow side of being a visionary is that I'm like, oh, I see 500 years down the line and it's so perfect. That just feels like it's done. It's like when you look at a mountain range from afar, you're like, oh my God, that'll be like 5 minutes. I could climb up that in 5 minutes. And you're like 5 days later, what? Things are not always in real time as easy as they look in a vision. So in my past, and even it's what I do, but I want to say in the past because I don't want to carry it into my future. I'm a fan of saying in the past because I want to, get rid of that stuff if it's not serving. But I have felt like I set myself up to have this list of stuff to get done. And if only some of it gets done, then there's this disappointed feeling. And then if somebody walks in and says, oh, why didn't you get X, Y, and Z done? I could talk about getting disturbable. What I realize is my biggest disturbability button is around not enough. It's not even about can I be undisturbable? It's about if I already wake up in the morning and I go out of my way to remember, nope, I'm enough. I'm starting with a full cup. I don't need anything to be more. It's like this saying in the Bible, you can't add 1 cubit to your stature. If I come in with that and I'm armed with that, and I mean armed like I'm carrying it with me because it's so easy to lose, and someone walks in and says, well, where's the blah, blah, blah? How come that's not done? Then I'd be like, oh, I could be like Byron Katie with it. There's certain themes that are repeating here in our convo. It's like, I could be like, oh, it's over here. Let me get it for you. It doesn't mean there's a big black X going across my head saying that I'm invalid, that I'm a loser, that I'm bad. But I noticed that I got an email from somebody this morning who has been wanting to be in touch with me, and which is great. It's a high class problem that I've got people, places, and things that are wanting me. And it's like, yay, there was a time in my life when that would have been something that I dreamt about. Like, wouldn't it be nice to be in demand? And now I'm kind of in demand and I'm like, not enough. Anyway, her email was like saying basically that she was disappointed that she hadn't heard from me. And I was like, it just hit my not enough button, like right on the head. And I didn't know it consciously. I just know that I felt bad and I wanted to be mad at her. Like, how dare you put that on me? And don't you know how busy I am? And blah, blah, blah. And really, it wasn't because I was mad at her. She was just expressing herself, which is lovely. It was my need to dismantle my not enough button. So really, going forward, it's not going to be an undisturbable challenge for me going forward. It's going to be about, can I go a 24-hour period and remember that I'm enough? so that if somebody's disappointed, it's like, oh, okay, they're disappointed. Let me clean that up if I can. But it doesn't have to hit this like enormous reservoir of pain and have me become like, you know, taking it out on other people. Like Dana walks in and says, I want this. And I'm like, no. How dare you hit me on my not enough button when it's already been kicked.
That spins on top of your body. Yeah. The whole
green pea soup everywhere. Not a pretty look. Not a good look. So you don't have this on a regular basis.
Did you notice that, or did I just say that?
No, you said it, but I also observed that that's true.
I don't, but you know what? It just came clear to me when you were talking. The reason is you have a plate, and on your plate there's so much. It's mounting over, and it's like you're just so full. And mine is a nice plate, and you can still see the design. And so there's just a little something here, and there's a little something there, and there's a dessert, something really sweet there. That's my plate. So how often when you have a plate that there isn't so much demand, are you going to fail? Or are you going to feel like you're not enough? You can always feel like you're enough. Wait a minute. Someone wanted me to be social. I was social. Sure, that was on my plate. Someone wanted some good advice. Oh, yeah, I had some advice. That was on my plate.
Wow.
But I don't have as much as far as responsibilities, I guess you'd say, or I just don't have as much on my docket.
Oh, well, I'm going to fix that.
I know you actually are trying. And I'm like, whoa. Today I literally said, I know a lot of people want to get me spa things for my birthday. Ready to collect anybody who said they were going to do this. Please do it. I almost checked into a hotel to find a hot tub just to sit and mouth breathe. Like I got it. I've never needed to disconnect like that.
Yes.
I just was like, I need to disappear and go somewhere. I need to get away. I got to get away. And it was like, I have to do something that's super indulgent.
Aphrodite.
Everything. Yeah. Aphrodite.
We're going to talk about Aphrodite.
We should.
Okay. So I want to just throw in this little piece for anybody that can relate to the overwhelm piece, because I have found something that works if I remember to use it.
Ooh.
And I think you're going to like it.
I'm going to need it.
Well, you're going to need it. Okay. So I'm borrowing this from Brendan Bouchard, who's got a new book out called, it's something about high performers, not the high performance life, but it's like he studied high performers, and he did actually a lot of very specific research for years. And one of the things that they do, I know that this is kind of, I'm hybriding this because that's the way I roll. Abraham, the one who channels, Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham, she talks about segment intending. So this is a bit of a hybrid. So this is what I've been doing. Before I do something, I close my eyes and I release what I was just doing. So if I was doing emails, I close my eyes and I say release, release, release 3 times. And I imagine that I'm literally clearing the slate of all that energy. And then and this takes less than a minute. And then I think about what is the next thing I'm going to do. So if I'm going to finish my First for Women article, First for Women magazine article, I picture that in my mind. I'm just going to go and do First for Women. And then I imagine on top of it, this is kind of the cherry on top, how I want to feel as I'm doing it and the why, like what I hope to accomplish. Like with my First for Women article, I want it to inspire women everywhere. I want them to get a big hug from me, and I want them to feel like $1 million. I want them to love their dreams and love themselves. So I think about that. And then I open my eyes and I go right to it. And if the phone rings, if there's a ding, if there's anything, the house can be on fire. Sorry, somebody else deal with it. Nada, nada, nada. I just do that and turn off as many things that ding and ring and bing as possible, so as to not, even have to look. And when I do things like that, I feel so good at the end of the day. I don't feel overwhelmed and stressed because I'm actually getting stuff done. And I think the overwhelm comes in when I start doing a little of this and then a little of this, and then this happens over here. And then I feel like I'm getting nothing done and I'm dropping things everywhere and I just get overloaded and overwhelmed. So
because you can't, I mean, people talk about women being the better multitaskers versus men, but truthfully, no one can multitask, because if you do, even though I feel like I can drive, I can sing, I can do my makeup, I can, I think I can do it all.
Mhm.
But the reality is everything is just a little less than. Everything
Right.
is just a less than. So
I think there's a difference between like kind of like the stuff that is like bada bing, bada boom stuff, like grabbing a brush. Like if I'm walking out of the house, I'll like wash a dish, put it away, pick up something that was on the ground. I'm on the phone saying something. Like I can do that stuff that's superficial, but if I'm having to create something that's got any depth at all,
you gotta make this space.
exactly.
My thing has always been to take a shower, which is a much longer solution. They talk about showers are to release the energy and to wash it off you. Literally. Yeah. In fact, I used to have a guru I hung out with who would do hot and cold showers, because you do the hot, then you do the real cold, then you do and it brings all of your stuff to the surface and you get rid of all of the energy of whatever of the day, good, bad, or indifferent. Of course, with that said, we can't, okay, now I'm working on the next thing. Excuse me.
You're all wet again. What's your hair all wet?
You're going to do your hair today. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Can you
but to create some kind of a transition ritual that clearly delineates what you just were doing. And I think to add to it the piece, at least for me and for anybody out there who can relate to this, to start the day with, I am enough. And if I do a bunch of stuff or if I don't do a bunch of stuff, I'm still enough. And like to have that feeling of enoughness going in, as opposed to I'm going to try to get enoughness by what I do, because that is an empty bucket. There will never be enough stuff in there to fill it up. And I just can't help but think as a complete non sequitur. Have you noticed my cup? I got this when we were in Paris.
Oh yeah.
At the Eiffel Tower. I was such a tourist buying a cup at the Eiffel Tower.
You know what? They're great. You love that cup, don't you?
I love it.
It was a good touristy moment. I just on my iPhone, I've shared with you that, sometimes they create those little videos. My iPhone creates it for me. And they did with the Eiffel Tower, our visit in Paris, and it's a whole thing, and
we have to do another one of those. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
There's a company that creates this. I can't read it. I can't see. And I'll spill the coffee out all over me.
Oh, that would be my move. Oh,
that would be, oh my God. Okay, let's see.
I love those glasses. They're so cute.
I can't. And it's in French. I don't know. I can't see. Where'd you go? Okay, well, Nancy zoomed off. So I'm just going to wrap up this episode and say go find Nancy T, more about her at nancytells.com, and more from me at kellysullivanwalden.com. Facebook is Kelly Sullivan Walden. Dr. Dream, she is A to Z with Meryl, as in Meryl Streep, and me. All right, namaste. Namasko.